We did an annual report a few years back, and we wanted to have a foil stamp on the cover to work with the concept of curriculum, how they're a teacher to their investors, and this happens to be a real estate investment company. And so this small piece that we have for their annual report is about 6 by 9. We wanted to feel like a substantial Stanford, Ivy League kind of university. So we created a custom seal for CWS called Curriculum for Success. So at first glance it looks like, a small admissions folder. In this case, the real specialty though was the cover of this. We wanted to feel substantial and we wanted the investors to keep them. So we wanted to use a really tactile paper, but we also wanted a foil. Now that poses a problem a little bit, especially with smaller type. And we were using New Baskerville back then. That was the company's brand typeface. And to make it more sophisticated design on the cover, we kept the type small, 11 point or so, which is pretty small for foil. For this seal that we used, that we designed for the university, it was about 1.5 inch square, so it's very small. Again, keep it prestigious, elegant, sophisticated. However, when I got the print rep involved early on, right after the comp was approved, he said, Gainsborough, a felt surface with a foil engraved die, which would be brass, because it's multi-level, right? More expensive with brass versus copper versus magnesium. Knowing that, he said that this foil will have a hard time sticking to this paper, and if we paint it, meaning cover the whole sheet with a color, because we couldn't find the color that we wanted for this particular project, we would have to paint the cover 2 times with the same ink. Now he told me that the only way to get this to stick, the foil, is if we knocked out whatever we wanted the foil to stick to the paper. So the foil could only adhere to the blank paper. It wouldn't adhere to the 2 hits of the ink. So that means that we had to register the small type, the 11 point New Baskerville, and the seal after it's been printed. Now that's quite a task. But as far as the type's concerned, the main thing is the readability I wanted to keep there. So we couldn't go below 11 point. For New Baskerville on foil, I was concerned with the weight contrast, because the thins, I didn't know if those would pick up in the foil, but my print rep assured me that they would, and they did. The idea there is the smaller the things you have to foil, the more pressure that they're going to use, so it's going to make more indent. And when you do that, you're going to have a burnish on the back. And typically the technique with burnishes on the back of paper, you don't want them to be seen, okay? So you usually cover them up with a fold, or you double back them and laminate them with a smooth paper. So the typeface that you're using is a concern for me right from the get-go. But New Baskerville is kind of a classic, and it doesn't have a lot of fonts in its family. So it did work with the Ivy League college feel concept that we had from the beginning of the design approval.